Saw the thumbnail. The Electric State got released on Netflix this past Friday. I did a reaction immediate video on our channel. You can go check that out. It's already up. Non-spoiler, of course. And I stated in that one, guys, that the Admiral wanted me to hold off until next week to do a spoiler-filled review because he wants to be there and talk about it because he's been waiting for this. It's one of his anticipated films of 2025. And he's like, King, you can't do it solo. I want to come on and I want to do it with you, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. I had agreed to it. King, you know the King. King is the king for a reason. He listens, but he does what he wants. Guys, I was going to, if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to do like a mini non-spoiler thing to kind of extend of what I was trying to talk about in my reaction video because I didn't give details. I'm still not going to give details, but I'm going to give you a non-spoiler review because the movie came out yesterday, and for me to wait another entire week ain't against what I do. But the thing is, you know what? I'm going to respect the Admiral enough that we're going to go into full details in that episode, but I'll give you a little mini review. But let me give you a rundown of this Prime Video thing. It's directed by the Russos. It's about 2 hours and maybe 8 minutes long. It stars Millie Bobby Brown, Chris Pratt, Stanley Tucci, Anthony Mackie, Woody Harrelson, Jason Alexander, Giancarlo Esposito, Ke Huy Quan from the Goonies, Indiana Jones. I'm going to leave it at that. And Alan Tudyk. Those are some of the voice actors and stuff like that, guys. I can honestly say, guys, going into this thing, I was like, okay, saw all the bad reviews on the face of the planet, people pooping on it and all this stuff. And you know the King. King always tells you guys, don't listen to anybody's garbage. Watch it with your own two little eyes and be your own judge. Because at the end of the day, your own opinion matters. Doesn't matter what these guys say, because you know what? What they might like, you might not like, and vice versa. That's the way I go. So I went into this thing with already that preconceived notion that, okay, it's a typical Prime Video, whatever, Russo film it's more miss than hit, whatever. So I went into this thing expecting it's going to be a dumpster fire. It's going to be okay at the best, you know. It was good. I enjoyed it. It's out there, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. You have to believe that robots have to coexist with humans in this one, and that there was some sort of war that was going on, and then the robots had feelings, and they wanted to kind of rebel against the humans and be treated fairly, like fair treatment. So you can only imagine the political aspirations behind that portion of the film. And things happen. You got Millie Bobby Brown's character with her brother, school, kind of like a flashback. It starts in 1990. That's the only thing I'm going to tell you, spoiler. And then it jumps 4 years later with the stuff hits the fan pretty much between the robots and the humans. And you can only imagine there. You got Millie Bobby Brown, who there was a tragic accident that involved her brother and at the same time her family. She ends up in a foster system. And that's where the beginning of the movie starts pretty much, guys. And it takes you on a journey from there. She's having flashbacks dealing with the loss of her family, her brother. That's pretty much it. Her brother was a genius. And the way that everything kind of ties into her brother and her journey to kind of like when she discovers that he could be alive. That's the only spoiler. She goes on her journey. She meets up with Chris Pratt down the road, another guy friend with the robot, because it's not good to have friends for robots and stuff like that, and proceeds on her journey. Things happen along the way. Stanley Tucci in this one is phenomenal. He is the new computer robot, bad guy, antagonist, whatever you want. Giancarlo Esposito plays a bounty hunter who goes after robots. I'm just going to leave it at that. Both did a good job, and he does a 360 character arc, whatever the hell. You can see it for yourselves. Action is pretty good. The music choice is phenomenal. Jokes, good. Not all of them landed. Not all of them were good. Some were cheesy, I'm not going to lie. Selections, the fight scenes were phenomenal. Stuff blowing everywhere. It looked real. It looked like something that we can experience down the road. That's what it looked like. You know, it didn't look too far out there. All the actors brought it. The voice actors, you can kind of recognize as you go along, from Woody Harrelson. You can see there. Jason Alexander is near the beginning, so I'm not going to spoil that for you. But all the different ones, you can say, oh, that's so-and-so. Oh, this is this. That's what you kind of get. But the way they portray the robots and their connection together with the humans was phenomenal. And the way they tied every loose end from Millie Bobby Brown's brother to the robots to the scientists to everybody came all well. It concluded good. It was your typical kind of like a Hollywood moment, but not really a Hollywood moment. But yeah, near the end, you're going to get a little teary-eyed. I can tell you that right now. There's a, teary-eyed moment between Millie Bobby Brown and somebody. But Chris Pratt, everybody else, Chris Pratt and his robot, phenomenal relationship between him and his thing. It's so cool. You got to see it for yourselves. It's funny at times. Trailer shows you a couple of little scenes there. You can see that for yourselves. But it was not what I really expected it to be, but I'm glad it didn't. And at the same time, it was an enjoyable movie. Yes, it was one of the negative things, a little bit longer than it should have been. They didn't need to drag out certain other things, and they needed to focus on some other stuff that kind of would make more sense to you going forward. Flow was pretty decent. I enjoyed it. Would I watch it again? Probably. Would I buy it? Maybe, if it's, the $10 bin, let's just say that. But one of the better Russo films, in my personal opinion, and Millie Bobby Brown, all the actors brought it. Like, if you don't believe her or Chris Pratt or Tucci, those three are the key actors that you see in front of your face. If you don't believe those three in their roles, you're not going to believe the film or enjoy the film. It's going to take you out of it. But for what it was, with science fiction and being real and all that stuff, and the way the Russos put everything together, I think they did a good job. So there you go, guys. Short, simple, sweet. Non-spoiler version. Don't worry, you're going to get a full Admiral session review, spoilers and everything else, because I'm pretty sure he's going to be thorough, more thorough than me, and we're going to tell you more details. I can elaborate on some of the points that I brought up here in this review next weekend with some other cool stuff. So there you go, guys. That's my official The Electric State movie review starring Millie Bobby Brown, Chris Pratt, and Stanley Tucci. So, okay, guys.